approval, and after it's approved, then we roll it into the annuals.
Yeah. Charlie, I noticed you highlight the sales that have changed, but you did not highlight the insurance, fire, and auto, but it went up
Okay,
20, 30.
and I'm gonna plead ignorance
I
that,
think that's a typo.
yeah,
It looks like you really typed 558, but you typed in 585.
that very well be. I'm not sure that I have a dog in that race anymore.
We tend to forecast that, or
Yeah.
budget that, Judge says.
Okay.
So-
Anyway, so that's just a typo in there.
Yes,
Okay. And so your software has actually gone down 20,000.
yes,
Okay.
but it's probably gonna come in through other departmental requests.
Okay.
Because I think like Sherilyn's dropping seamless docs, another sheriff's office module, the fire program that they're using, they're transitioning to Blaze.
And they just talked about this morning adding face recognition to their clear, is it Clear View? Was their Clear
Something like
program?
The AI.
Yeah.
Okay,
Anyway, $7,400. They had that in there.
okay. So that's why I said, that's not really, they could be turned around, not really being a gotcha, but go back to the normal level.
Yes, sir.
Then the next page just shows where some of the software is and some of the changes there, the highlights. This next year will be a year of transitioning, not only with phone systems, and some pieces of software. For instance, the first two that we're requesting is OpenAI, which are licenses for artificial intelligence programming and tools that the IT department will be using. And the second one behind that is Ninja One, which is a tool that's used for us on the network that we can do a lot more things we could in the past. Like we can reach out and connect to your machines. We can push updates on a scheduled basis instead of, regular. We can turn your machines on and off. We actually have more control of what's going on your individual computer and more access on a quicker basis than. So that's kind of replacing several other tools that we moved off of the list the following year. CAD went up a little bit this year, and a lot of that was due to the addition of 10 more mobile units and some more desktop units into that software. Okay. Gatsby went up 2,000. That's just the final year of the contract, and that'll be renegotiated the following year. One note there is 24,000 is still in there for the tax office because they were going to run dual systems this coming year. So the 24,000 was for services for the existing Gemini tax program that we're using. And then, pardon?
24,000 monthly?
No, that's annually. It's paid monthly, I'm sorry. Timing of payment is monthly, is 24,000 annually. It's for services and licensing for the use of that program for that year.
Have you been working with the tax office on, that they were going to switch over to harris.gov, I think, on their software? You familiar with that? We were with Southwest Data,
Yes, sir.
and they were switching over to harris.gov.
Other than hearing about they are getting some training done, I have not been involved with them.
I think so far through all their training, they're very unhappy with it, and we've not made the switch over. They've not taken our data, and I think she intends to cancel that contract,
Okay.
just so you know. I didn't know how involved you were.
No, sir. Other than the presentations when they first came out, we haven't been involved with that.
You talk about our tax office is not gonna make the transition from,
$300,000 or $400,000.
I thought that was what the CAD was going to.
I thought so. Well, the CAD is going to it. Liz over here says she's had the worst experience, and probably we ought to get her worst experience with these new folks that she said, you know, whatever she's used to with our old program, she said, you know, hey, we'd like this new program to do such and such. And they said, well, why do you need that? She's like, yeah, I'm buying the software, I need it because I want it. And then whether it's just kind of adversarial
Yes.
to her, and she's like, you know, I'm just gonna stay with what we have for now.
But
So
it didn't mesh with the,
well,
the
she-
whole reason.
She's talked with them over there, and she can stay with it. And she's on her listserv, she says that other folks say that they're unhappy with this Harris.gov or Harris, whatever it is, Harris government, program. She said, you know, I'd rather not change. And I said, well, we're not gonna sit up here and tell you to change. That's your office if you don't want to. And she's at the point she can get out of it, and we don't have to pay for it. So I told her to do what she thought was best. She's reached out to Bob Cole, and he reviewed the contract and said, yep, you just gotta write him a letter and tell him you're unhappy and you don't wanna proceed.
So basically, the CAD's changing to it, cause that's undoubtedly what he's used to working with or whatever.
Yeah. But she can still run her office without
Without
it.
it. See, I thought that was the whole reason why they were trying to, where they meshed or something,
Yeah.
but they don't have to.
Yeah, I think that's my understanding. Sorry for sidetracking, that
Not a
wasn't our
problem.
business, but we can talk about that later with her.
All right, that's all I have on software unless y'all have any questions. That's the big item on that 409. Okay, moving on.
Moving on from software.
503 to data processing. Okay, if you scan to the right-hand side of the page, the first one I show with an increase is the third line, which is overtime. I increased it, we have 3 techs. Before, when we were doing this, we only had 1, and then we picked up 1 late in the year. It's always helpful that we don't have to wait, you know, at 5 o'clock when we can finish a job by 5:30 if we can stick around for a little bit longer. And my guys are not overtime hoarders. We do maybe a quarter or a half an hour per pay period, so like that. So it's there mainly as a convenience for us not having to pack up and then come back and finish the project.
I see this thing was printed in May the 6th, and it only showed $600 worth of overtime for the whole year. But I'm just curious, through all your implementing the new Office 365, all our new phone systems, all that, I guess I would have been expecting to see a good bit of overtime in there, but you were able to.
We're able to, yes. And
Handle
sometimes
your regular hours.
we just go home early on Fridays, you know, if things are slow.
Sure.
You know, like I said, we're not chasing overtime, not watching the clock on that stuff. It's just, there we have it. And I guess, I don't know if I don't know if departments schedule overtime or request overtime like that or not, or just how it's paid for. So,
It's good to budget for it, so you have it if you need it. If you don't use it, that's even.
yes, sir. Okay, the next line down is 2,400, and that's on the cell phone. That was miscalculated and misshown on last year's budget. It was at 4,800, and really it's supposed to be 2,400 for the 5 staff members. Y'all voted to go ahead and give them $40 per month per phone because their offices a lot of times is their phone when they're out and about. So that was a correction that was missed last year. Okay, travel expense, on the right line. Yes, sir. I added 5,000 out of that, puts 5,000 in the kitty for each guy and the department that way. Any of your technology conferences that you have to go away for a week, you spend probably right at $4,000 at that, so, we haven't done that. We look for online tools and all that kind of stuff too, but, when you pay for a technology conference, you pay. So that increased by 5,000 to make it equal across the board for all the 5 staff members. And the other one I just rounded up. For some reason, I didn't like the odd numbers. I wanted zeros. Okay. Next page is just a statement for me about staff. I will be retiring soon. No target date in sight as yet. Kind of waiting for things to settle and clean up some of the end of the phone project. And Dustin, one of our staff members, is on medical leave right now too. So trying to see if we can't get everything back to a stable state.
So it's your opinion, even after you retire, you think we need to hire an additional person?
I think we need to stay with 5. You know, we have the web accessibility issue that's coming up, and that's may take a full-time person to do that alone. You know, in cybersecurity, I think when you asked about keeping 5 people, I said, how important is cybersecurity? Well, that's probably a person in a quarter at least, you know. We're all involved in it in some sense or another, but we can turn our efforts into like training, like Microsoft 365, better use of that, the tools that are available to us on the network.
Well, I think some training, if we could have some kind of training for our county staff.
Yes, sir.
that would help us with Excel especially, because it does so much in Word, and I think it'd be terrific.
I think it's just changing our emphasis and you know, so.
Okay.
So some of the roles that we have now may not apply to those, but we will make adjustments as need be. I'm really happy with the staff. I have never been in a group as well-versed and willing to go the extra mile that we have right now.
Good.
Okay. The next page just cites the overtime. And then cell phone allowances, that's correction we talked about. Training and the equipment, rounding the equipment out. That's for any needs we have, laptops, network racks, UPSs, batteries, wire, tools.
So you had some big projects this year. You switched over to Office 365. We did our phone system. Are any of those non-recurring expenses next year? I mean, did our phone system, was that one big payment, or we just paying the same?
It's a monthly payment. And our annual, Office 365 is annual based on the type of license. There's 2 types of licenses. So we pay for, you know, like you all got a license for Office 365. That's paid on an annual basis. So if you leave, that we can repurpose that license or just take it off the list. And there's, what do they call the other portion? Perpetual? Which is to a device. So whoever uses that device got access to that software on that machine. So that's a one-timer.
So I was just thinking that some of those big expenses we had, like the phone system, some of that probably was startup costs.
Yes.
That'll go away with.
And we probably won't see, what am I trying to say? See return on that until I got phone bills that are messed up sitting on my desk, stacked up, that we're getting double dipped on. So I'm trying to get that all straightened out. And Ring Central, the new phone system, we had 3 months of credits, and we started getting bills before our credits got burned up. So they're working on that, getting that cleaned up right now. So phone companies are not my favorite subject right now.
Other than that, you've been happy with Ring Central and
Yes, like I said, there's tools there that we aren't taking care of as yet, but it works right out. I have it on my cell phone, and I couldn't be more happier with it.
yeah, that's pretty handy.
County at the tip of my finger there.
Very good. Anything else?
No, sir.
You guys have any other questions for Mr. Neminger? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Do we have, any Anybody else? Ms. Graff, have you heard from anybody else that wanted to come talk? Purchasing, HR, auditor's office? Speak now. All right, if there's no other business, we have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Hatfield, second by Commissioner Timmons. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, our motion passes 5-0 to 11:30. We're adjourned.
Hey. And we voted on it this time.
Y'all didn't vote last time, you just adjourned.
No, we made the motion and seconded and everything that I forgot.